Welcome in, beautiful soul. This is Dahlia with Spiritual Society, bringing you this week's Pick a Card reading. We're going to take a look at which of your past lives is most affecting your current reality, and what do you need to know in order to live your most radiantly aligned life now. Take a deep breath. Allow your intuition to call out the card or crystal that resonates with you the most. 1, 2, or 3. Welcome in, group number 1. You were drawn to the green goldstone crystal and the cards Egypt and Embrace Both Light and Dark. True balance comes from embracing both your light and shadow. Both are necessary for growth. So group number 1, by being drawn to this reading, this indicates that you had significant past life energy in Egypt. Now, depending on how you resonate with the feeling of Egypt will tell you whether your experience was positive or negative. If you feel excited or curious or drawn to Egypt or Egyptian culture, that means you had a significant positive lifetime experience that is affecting you now. And alternatively, if you feel a repulsion towards Egypt, you most likely had a negative life experience or challenge there. Now, because the card you are drawn to here says embrace both light and dark, there is a lot about Egyptian culture, which is about embracing both sides of ourselves. Egyptian culture is highly rooted in astronomy and astrology and has a lot of ancient wisdom correlated with it and spirituality that greatly affects us to this day. So let's dig in deeper and see how this past life experience in Egypt and learning how to balance the light and the dark is affecting you now, and how to move through that experience with grace so that you can learn the lessons and have a beautiful lifetime now. Just remember, this is a general group reading, so only take what works for you and leave the rest for someone else. And if at any time you just don't resonate at all, you can always choose another card or crystal. Now let's dive deeper and take a look at how this past life experience in Egypt may be affecting your outlook on life today. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Let me get a clarifying card. How is this experience? Okay, we have the 3 of Cups. The 9 of Pentacles is related to the energy of working hard towards a fulfilling life goal. Now, we also have the 3 of Cups, which is about experiencing bliss and connection and celebration within community. So right away, this makes me feel like you possibly had a positive life experience in Egypt that could have involved royalty or high-class society, where you were rewarded for the fruits of your labor, you were celebrated and honored amongst your community as well. So let me get another clarifying card. How does that impact your life today? How does reward from hard work and being honored and celebrating community in a past life affect your outlook on today's life? We have the Death and Rebirth card. Now, this is really interesting because in Egyptian culture, the experience of reincarnation is highly revered. That's why they practiced mummification, because they recognized that part of an aspect of this being, this human, is eternal, and we want to preserve the body so that it has a place to return in the future. So I am getting the sense that this experience of positivity, of community, of reward, of experiencing perhaps even the highest class of Egyptian culture and society, you most likely were involved in reincarnation in some way. You may have believed in it, you may have practiced it. So some aspect of your general outlook on life today may include reincarnation, or even feeling some aspect of this royal person that you were in the past, or this high class person that you were in the past. If you don't feel seen or validated, for instance, I'm getting Six of Wands energy. If you don't feel valued, seen, or respected, feel rewarded for the work that you do in the world, enjoy luxury, enjoy community, if you don't feel that, or you don't have that experience, yet you feel the urge to experience it, that is because that was your life in Egypt. You were respected, and highly valued, and even experienced a very luxurious life. You did embrace both the light and the dark. You were very balanced, and you were respected, you were celebrated for your wisdom. And so when you crossed over to the other side, you recognized that you were laying down the body, but that you would be reincarnated into another lifetime where you got the opportunity to embrace the light and the dark, and to embrace your high class royal nature, so that you can learn how to cultivate those experiences now in this present reality. So again, if you don't feel rewarded, if you don't experience luxury, if you don't feel seen, validated, or respected, you are being called to this reading to see how you can tap into that energy of your past life in Egypt and call that into your present reality. This is very exciting. So now we're going to take a look at how this past life experience in Egypt may still be impacting your current love relationships. How does your past life in Egypt affect your current love relationships? We have the Hierophant. Wow. So this is extremely powerful because this confirms that you were definitely someone of spiritual capacity who is respected and revered for the wisdom that you have to share. So as the Hierophant, you possibly are someone who is a mentor in your love relationships. You are calling your partners, past, present, or future, into the highest version of themselves by the example of your own light. That is very powerful. You draw people to your way of seeing things, because I'm almost getting like high priestess energy, or some sort of really valued and respected spiritual leader in Egyptian society, that now you just have this natural wisdom and understanding that draws people into your way of seeing things. And you create opportunities for your love partners, for your love relationships, to elevate their consciousness, which is incredibly powerful. Let me get another card. How does this past life experience in Egypt as a spiritual initiator affect your current love relationships? We have the Tower. So I really resonate with this energy, specifically with my family and my friends, that I was a black sheep for a long time. I became the Hierophant, and now when I come into their lives in this present day, their life starts self-destructing. And I'm getting the sense personally, and for you as well, that because, whether you are aware of it or not, because you were this powerful priest or priestess or high class person of great wisdom and power, you lead by the example of your light, and your aura is just so elevated that when people come into your life, whatever is not authentic, whatever is not aligned, whatever is low vibrational or toxic has to be removed from their life. And so If you've ever experienced meeting someone, this could be a lover or this could be a friend or even a family member, if you've experienced coming into their life and then all of a sudden things go to crap for them and you don't know why that's happening, it's most likely because your energy, your aura, your light is changing things around just by the very nature of being in your presence. And that looks like destruction if they are not currently living their most aligned life. We have the Magician and the Page of Cups. So this again answers the question about how this past life is affecting your love relationships. The Magician is about learning how to create your reality, learning that your thoughts, feelings, beliefs create the experiences that you call into your life. And the Page of Cups is learning how to be a sensitive dreamer, how to see possibilities and color and magic where other people see the dullness and the monotony. So being able to create magic and possibilities and dreaming bigger. So because of this spiritual wisdom that you contain within your soul's blueprint, after the Tower comes the magic of creation. So if things crumble around your lovers or your friends or your family, what you are doing is initiating them to be the magician in their own lives, to understand how they are contributing to their reality, whether that's positive or negative, just like this card, embracing both the light and the dark. I'm really loving this reading so far. Now, beautiful soul, we are going to answer the question, how did this past life experience in Egypt affect your ability to love freely today in this lifetime? How did this experience affect your ability to love? Ooh, this is so beautiful. The Knight of Cups is about wearing your heart on your sleeve, being open emotionally, being vulnerable, being ready to pour out yourself without hesitation, being proactive with your love and your grace as well. So this shows me that your experience in Egypt opened your heart to the ability to be vulnerable. And really that does come from embracing both the light and the dark. Because when you are well balanced in that capacity, you are no longer afraid to be vulnerable, because vulnerability says, here, see my darkness. I'm okay with my darkness. I love all of my pieces because they make me who I am. And now you can embrace others in both their light and their dark as well, making true vulnerability, true intimacy, and true love possible for you. Let's get another card. How did this past life experience in Egypt affect your ability to love freely today? How did this past life? We have the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is about hard work, the skill of repetition and practice, self-mastery. Ooh, I love this. So, true unconditional love today in this world is only possible through self-mastery, through being able to look at and accept and heal that shadow aspect, because it is in fact the repressed shadow aspect that has not been brought to light that causes so much turmoil, heartbreak, confusion, and division within us and our love relationships. Because that is the case, the Eight of Pentacles, the repetition of self-mastery through embracing both our shadow and our light, is what makes being able to give love freely possible. So because of the amount of work that you did in a past life, just like that Nine of Pentacles, you are now truly able to give love freely and unconditionally with grace and spiritual capacity, which allows you to be open-hearted, to walk through this world with all its darkness with an open heart is the work of a spiritual master. And because that's what you were in your past life in Egypt, you have brought those skills and abilities into this life, which makes you a master of unconditional love. Let's get another card. How did this past life experience affect your ability to love freely today? I love this card. We have the Fool. Yes. This card is about the purity and innocence of your open, loving heart, which gives you the ability to just walk off a cliff into love and not worry about the danger below, knowing that the divine is going to catch you. You are able to, for instance, if one relationship ends, you are not the type of person to shut down or close your heart or build a wall around your heart. When I'm getting the sense you are a hopeless romantic, but not with the negative connotations, because of your spiritual mastery and wisdom, you know that you're never hurt. So you're not afraid to give of yourself. You embrace both the shadow and the light, which means you learn from loss. You take every experience as a lesson, which allows you to find the silver lining and move forward with grace and wisdom. So you are truly able, this is the epitome of being able to love freely, working on self, taking care of your own needs, your own weaknesses, your own triggers, not blaming or shaming another individual, giving yourself the ability to wear your heart on your sleeve, be vulnerable, be truly intimate, and start over from a place of purity and innocence and open-heartedness if you need to, walking through the world as a symbol of unconditional love. That is truly beautiful. Now, beautiful soul, let's take a look at the question, how did this past life experience in Egypt affect your current professional choices? We have the Page of Wands. This is about adventure, good news. Perhaps this experience gave you the confidence that your career path, your professional choices should be based on passion, should be based on fun and adventure and a direction which pulls you forward. I get the sense that you have in the past, or you will in the present and future, have significant lucky breaks in your career opportunities where perhaps you meet someone unexpectedly or an opportunity appears like magic in your life, which continues to call you forward in the right direction. I'm not getting the sense that you have or will be the type of person that just does a job just to have a job, just to make money. For you, it has to be a calling. Let me get another card. How did this past life in Egypt affect your professional choices in this lifetime? We have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is the leader, the provider, the stable one. Let me get a clarifying card. This reminds me of the lucky breaks. Clarify the King of Pentacles regarding professional choices. We have the Two of Cups and the Five of Wands. Very interesting. In your career opportunities, you are the one who is able to coordinate teams, coordinate ideas, pull the greatness out of those that are around you. With the Two of Cups, this again reminds me of your leadership capacity, your ability to devote yourself to the people that you work with. I am getting the sense that there's a lot of leadership or managerial positions that would work for you. I'm also getting the sense that you have the capacity to be a great team builder, someone who's able to inspire and motivate others. You could be really great at motivational speaking. Either way, how your past life affected your current life is the ability to lead, the ability to inspire and motivate, the ability to pull out the best in people, places, or things. Creating life, creating experiences, creating products, creating teams from a sense of adventure, passion, fun, motivation, and being called forward to a grander vision of what people currently believe about themselves. And I feel that is true in love and in your profession as well. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you. Have you found yourself in positions in this lifetime where you are inspiring and motivating people to excel through the example of your own capacity and your own light, being a very capable and wise individual? Now we're going to take a look at what financial experience you may have had in the past life that is currently motivating your current experience of financial reality. We have the Empress. Yes, the Empress is a beautiful energy of abundance, natural abundance, the abundance of Mother Earth, being very tuned in to the cycles of life, how Earth provides throughout the seasonality. I'm also being called to the Nile River, and I believe it's around the Lionsgate portal that the star Sirius aligned in the sky in such a way that aligned with their pyramids that told them that the Nile was going to begin flooding again, which highlighted the coming fertile season of abundance. So that is really interesting. So I'm feeling now that you perhaps are the type of person who understands financial success and well-being to be a natural reality based on nature and Mother Earth, which is actually, in fact, how I inform my financial reality. And I personally am actually being very drawn to this first reading too. So the way I like to look at my financial reality is that lack is an illusion. And how do I know that lack is an illusion? I look to Mother Earth. I look at how she has one seed. She takes one seed and it gets planted in the soil, it gets watered, it gets sunshine, and then all of a sudden that one seed turns into a tree. And on that tree, there's hundreds, if not thousands of more seeds from one seed. And if those seeds drop, how many more trees, how many more millions of seeds, forests, so much life. And then through that, the shelter for the animals, the food for the animals. It's just a perfect system. And that is natural reality, because every other life on this planet, whether it's plant or animal life, benefits from the abundance of Mother Earth, and human beings are the only species that have created a system of destitution. So lack is an illusion. When we go back to nature, when we go back to that Empress energy, there is nothing but fertility. There is nothing but life and creation. There is nothing but abundance. And so, beautiful soul, if you're not aware of this within yourself, then there is something in this reading that is going to activate this clarity within you, that you will know without a doubt that lack is not real, that abundance is your natural birthright. It is your Empress energy. It is your inherent worthiness to be abundant. And I did say with that 9 of Pentacles as well, that in a past life in Egypt, you may more than likely have experienced luxury. And the Empress is luxurious energy as well, Venetian energy. So you should be enjoying the luxury of life. And that doesn't have to look like champagne and private jets. That could be cutting fresh flowers, buying fresh flowers, doting on yourself, loving yourself, surrounding yourself by natural beauty, so you remember how abundant you are. And when you shift into that energy of awareness and gratitude for the natural abundance that exists within you and surrounds you, the universe will reward you with more luxury, more beauty, more bounty, more abundance. And so if that is not your current experience or your current feeling or reality, this reading is going to be a deep initiation into receiving and experiencing more of that natural, fertile abundance that exists within you. Let's answer this question again. How did your past life in Egypt affect your financial reality to this date? Yes, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, beautiful soul, this reminds me of what I just said about the one single seed, the blessing that comes from the hand of the divine, one single seed that is planted in the fertile soil and creates everything that you could possibly need. So yes, you have the ability to create abundance for yourself through planting the seed of intention and awareness in whatever is most important to you in your life. You have the power to invest and multiply through your awareness of how one seed can turn into millions. Let's get another card. Beautiful soul. Now we have the Queen of Pentacles. Do you believe me now? Yes, you are the queen, the empress, the king, whatever you resonate with of Pentacles. You are the operator of the abundance of the universe. So, beautiful soul, if you don't feel that within yourself, it's time to start tapping into the Empress, the Emperor that you are, the Queen, the King of Pentacles that you are, because you did have a profoundly significant, celebrated, rich, luxurious, spiritual, beautiful, abundant life in Egypt. Whether you know that or feel that or not, and you are being called to rise into your royalty, into your priesthood, into your highest capacity, highest version of reality yet. Not only you, but those that surround you, you are calling into that reality as well. Now, beautiful soul, let's see what lesson you learned in your past life, which is helping to inform the positive direction of your current life. Beautiful soul, what lesson did you learn? Yes, we have the Wheel of Fortune. You learned the interconnectedness of reality. You learned about fate and destiny and divine timing. You understood manifestation. You understood spiritual creation. And the interconnectedness of reality. That's what informs your financial abundance as well. Being aware of the bounty that nature, that the universe provides. And when you are aware of that, you can stay in sync with the divine method of creation and manifestation. Let's get another card for this question. What lesson did you learn in your past life that is improving the direction of your current reality? The Nine of Cups, beautiful. You started your reading with the Nine of Pentacles. Now we're ending it with the Nine of Cups. What lesson did you learn in a past life? You learned true emotional fulfillment and satisfaction that comes from within your open, loving heart. You were truly balanced in the sense that you were aware that your material well-being was not all that was important. The community, the love, the celebration of tribe, that was also incredibly valuable to you as well. So that's why being seen, being recognized, being valued, feeling connected and aligned with your community may be currently very important to you, because you experienced great emotional satisfaction in your past life as well as great material fulfillment. Let's get another card. What lesson did you learn in a past life that is informing your current reality? We have the Six of Pentacles, which reminds me of this balance energy. Not only did you have a lot of prosperity, have a lot of love and respect, you shared it as well. You were not a greedy or selfish person in a past life. I am getting the sense that you were very powerful. You were a leader of some kind, royalty of some kind, a priest or priestess of some kind, and you deeply valued and cherished the ones around you, the people who respected you. You respected them as well, and you treated them with the utmost care, love, and respect, which reminds me of why with this Knight of Cups, you're able to love so freely, so openly, so vulnerably in your present reality. And remember what I said, if some of these things don't fully land, but you want them for yourself, that's why you are drawn to this reading, so that you can remember and recreate that experience in this lifetime. All right, beautiful soul, we're going to get one final angel oracle message for you from Archangel Metatron. As Metatron is the angel that oversees past lives and wants to help you integrate it into this present life so that you can ascend into your highest version of reality possible. So let's get one final card from Archangel Metatron. What do you need to know most at this time to move forward in this lifetime, ascend to your highest version of reality possible? Transformation. Through the great love that holds you in its embrace, you are moment by moment transforming to ever greater light, ever greater oneness, and ever greater wisdom. Beautiful soul, this perfectly sums up everything I've said in this entire reading. You are in touch with the great love of the universe that continuously holds you in its embrace, which means every moment, every lifetime, you are continuously transforming to ever greater light, ever greater oneness, and ever greater wisdom. So powerful. All right, my beautiful soul, If you resonate with this reading and you want to claim it for yourself, comment a light emoji of some kind. This could be a candle, a light bulb, a lamp, whatever resonates with you. And also like this video now. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe as we release new readings every week you don't want to miss. And in the event you would like a deeper personal reading for yourself, there's a link in the description box below to book a reading at any time. All right, my beautiful soul, until the next time I get to read for you, I am sending you so much peace and love. Welcome in Group 2. You are drawn to the opal stone, as well as the cards Spirituality and Religion and Embrace Healing. Healing is a journey, not a destination. Trust the process and know that every step brings you closer to peace. Now, remember this is a general group reading, so only take what works for you and leave the rest for someone else. By being drawn to this reading, the experience of religion in this lifetime differs from your past life. If somehow throughout your upbringing or your adult life, you don't feel resonant or aligned with the traditions of your culture or your parents or your family, that means in a past life you had different spiritual beliefs than you do now. And this Embrace Healing card says that it's time for you to explore alternative spiritual beliefs in this lifetime so that you can land with what really works for you. You don't have to take on the tradition or the expectations of others around you, especially if they don't feel fully complete, if they don't inspire you, if they don't make you feel expansive, if they shut you down, make you feel a sense of fear, guilt, or shame, then that definitely means that you are meant to explore another avenue of your spirituality so that you can heal that divide within yourself. So if you resonate with that so far, let's keep going. We're going to find out more about how this past life experience with alternative spiritual beliefs than you've been taught in this lifetime, how has that impacted your general outlook on life today? How did your past life with different spiritual beliefs impact your outlook on life today? We have the Three of Pentacles. It seems like your spiritual beliefs involved a community of people, perhaps a group of practitioners, a commune, some organization or body of faith practitioners you may have been involved in your previous lifetime that is not aligned with the organized religion or faith-based practice that you may have been brought up into. So you still to this day may feel outcasted. You may feel a desire to find your tribe, to find other like-minded, like-hearted souls that are seeking alternative ways to pursue their faith and their practice. Now, we also have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is about being intuitive, being a dreamer, being sensitive, being open to the possibilities. So it seems like in your previous lifetime, this spiritual faith that you had opened you up to miracle consciousness, opened you up to the wisdom and the understanding that anything is possible, that your consciousness dictates your reality. And the group of people that you perhaps were working with or living with or practicing your faith with were all in accordance with this idea that healing, miracles, everything that you desire, whether that's to overcome challenges or to expand into possibilities, all of that comes from within. And you built a tribe and a community around that faith as well. So if that's not something that you're seeking or actively pursuing in this lifetime, you may feel a sense of desire or even isolation that is calling you to do that now. Let's get another card. We have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is about carrying a burden of responsibility. And this is related to your past life experience. Perhaps you were the leader of this community. You were the one in charge of making sure everyone was operating in accordance with the highest and best good of the goals of everyone that's involved in this tribe. Perhaps you were the leader of this community. You could be the head of this commune or this group or this society of individuals. And that would make sense why even today you might feel called to inspire the other people in your life, your family or your friends, particularly if you have felt outcasted. It's most likely because you feel like your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs are not respected, are not understood. And so now your spirituality or your desire for expansion regarding faith may feel like a burden because it was your responsibility to lead others. And in this lifetime, you are meant to find your tribe instead of trying to convince the ones who have brought you up a certain way other ideas than what they currently have. Now let's take a look at your intimate love relationships and how this experience in a past life may have affected your love life today. We have the World. The World is about higher level consciousness. It's about graduating from one stage to another. So I am getting the sense that in this lifetime, you are seeking partners. You are seeking a lover, a relationship, a companion who is elevated in their consciousness. You may be someone who does not desire superficial or surface level companionship, whether that's friends and particularly lovers as well. You most likely are stimulated intellectually and spiritually. And so you need a partner who also is aligned and desires expansion of the mind and the heart. So if it's someone who's just interested in you for your looks or just to have fun or isn't interested in anything serious, particularly in their own elevation of self, then it's a big turnoff for you. Let's get another card. How has your past life affected your love life currently? Wow. We have the High Priestess. Yes, beautiful soul. So this is exactly what I was feeling. You can even see this looks like a commune, or we have the High Priestess here and we have two nuns or two servants that are bowing to her. And so this definitely validates what I was saying over here, that you carry the burden of leadership because of your spiritual capacity. And therefore, you still have that spiritual leadership within you now. And that's why you're seeking a companion who can walk side by side with you with that same burden, in a sense of knowing self, loving community, wanting to elevate self and tribe. And you desire a companion who can hold your hand and support you in that endeavor. Let me get another card. What experience in your past life affected your current version of your love life? We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So this makes me feel that because you do have a higher level of consciousness and you're seeking that in your partnerships as well, that doesn't come easy. And this Ten of Cups is about experiencing the ultimate emotional bliss and fulfillment in love, in family, experiencing a depth of harmony. I'm almost getting the sense that in a past life you were celibate, and companionship, sexuality, that wasn't a part of your experience. Because you were the leader of this spiritual community, your responsibility was to them. So I am getting the sense that you didn't marry in the previous lifetime. You were married to your community because your job was to elevate them to a higher level of consciousness, and you took that role very seriously. You were married to that role and that identity. Now, in this lifetime, that makes it very challenging for you to experience emotional bliss and fulfillment in love. And so for you, it could feel like it never fits. Like the person just doesn't feel right. They don't feel the chemistry. You don't feel like they are elevated to your level in every aspect. So I could imagine that feeling a sense of just stability, finality, harmony in your love life and your romantic life is very difficult because you're seeking such a higher level of being that there's not many people that are on that path, on that trajectory, especially if you're a spiritual leader. So let's look deeper at how this experience of spiritual leadership affected your ability to love freely. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Cups. So the Wheel of Fortune is about knowing that we are co-creating with the universe, and that sometimes situations are out of our control because life is moving us to our fate and to our destiny. We have the Nine of Cups here, which is about your wish come true, experiencing emotional satisfaction because you have made your dreams a reality. So for you, the experience of giving love is intimately connected to your purpose, your destiny, which is to be a vessel for the divine. And that's why I'm getting the sense that in your previous life, romance was not a priority for you because you were married to the divine. You were married to your destiny, and all emotional satisfaction and the love you give to your community and your tribe, that's where your ability to love comes from, is from knowing, trusting, and upholding your role with such dignity and certainty. So let me get another card for this question. How did your experience in your past life affect your ability to love freely in this lifetime? We have the Devil. The Devil is about being addicted to temptation, substances, also being trapped by limitation, being subject to toxic storylines if we don't overcome them. Yeah, so this was your primary focus, was healing, overcoming limitation, miracle consciousness. And so the way you give love is through elevating consciousness. And so that's why for you, the only partnership that ever feels on your level is also someone else who may be a leader of elevating consciousness. And that's a very rare breed of individual to find. So let's take a look at how this past life experience influenced your professional choices in this lifetime. We have the Five of Pentacles. Interesting. So the Five of Pentacles is about a lack of security, a lack of resources. This could mean that your professional interests in this lifetime are to uplift the poor. You could be someone who's charitable, a philanthropist, someone who's interested in helping give what they have to others. This could also be someone who's a healer in some capacity, a counselor, a teacher, a therapist, someone who brings them up from the darkness and despair of deep insecurity and allows them to feel held and fulfilled. So either way, in your professional choices or even yearnings or desire, if you didn't fulfill them, you have a desire to uplift those who are insecure. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. I'm going to go ahead and take that out because this is literally about holding on to wealth and having stability. And because you have this innate stability, this innate spiritual consciousness, you are able to hold a foundation of abundance that comes from within, that comes from your ability to tap into the divine. And so that wealth of love, the wealth of knowledge and wisdom and faith that you have allows you to anchor it in for those who cannot see it and experience it for themselves. Let me get another card. How did your past life experience impact your professional choices in this lifetime? We have the Four of Wands in reverse. So I am getting the sense that you definitely like to help people who are destitute or are not celebrating life, basically. You prefer to help those who are left out, the outcasts of society. Perhaps it is because you may have felt outcasted in this life that you are drawn to help those who are pushed aside. Because the Four of Wands is about celebrating community. It's just such a positive energy of upliftment, of tribe. And because this is in reverse, I am getting the sense that this is like Mother Teresa energy in a way where your desire is to uplift those who are deeply insecure financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because you have already found that within yourself. So let's take a look at how your financial successes or hardships in your previous life inform your current financial situation. How did your financial experience in a past life affect this one? We have the Seven of Pentacles, which is about patience, divine timing, working hard to reap a harvest. So this makes me feel like you don't necessarily need to have a lot because you are in harmony and balance with nature. And nature always provides just enough. For instance, if there was no refrigerator, no one would be able to store anything. They would just have to eat what was available for them that day. And that takes a level of trust and faith that what you need will be provided tomorrow and the next day and the next day. You don't have to store it up to have faith that you will be provided for. So I am getting the sense that in this lifetime, you are someone who's rather content with enough, and you don't necessarily need to experience overt luxury or riches or abundance because you have wealth that is overflowing from within you. Let me get another card. How does your financial situation in a past life affect this one? We have another Seven. So the Seven right away is a number of spiritual enlightenment and wisdom and connection with the divine. The Seven of Cups is also about fantasy, illusion. It's making sure that what you're choosing is in your highest and best good. So what's really interesting is like there's a number of cups on this card. Some contain something that is maybe looks good, but is negative. You could choose a cup that looks shiny, but there's a snake inside. Or you can choose a cup and there's a treasure inside. So for me, this means, again, that your true wealth comes from within. You know that just because something looks good, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be of value or benefit. So you are able to recognize true wealth from something that's dressed up in security. Okay? Let me get another card here. How did your financial situation in a past life affect your finances in this lifetime? We have the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is about competition. It's about working with others, competing with others to reach a higher level goal. Sometimes can indicate conflict. Let me get a clarifying card. I'm getting the sense that, again, this is about being responsible for the well-being of others, just like that Ten of Wands, because you, more than likely, if you're drawn to this reading, were a spiritual leader of a group of people. It was your job to make sure their needs were met, that they were fed, etc. So in this lifetime, again, with this desire to be charitable and help people who are destitute, it could be that you find yourself always being someone that others look to for financial support. Let me clarify. We have the Hangman in reverse. Yeah, what's interesting on this card is that this man is being hung upside down, and there's a group of people that are pointing up and kind of screaming. So this, again, makes me feel like your financial situation in a previous life, and therefore this lifetime, is part of your role was and is to support other people. So at times you might feel that burden of being needed to support others. Okay, so if that resonates with you, that may be why, if you're wondering, why do people always look to me? Why do people think I have it all? I'm struggling, or I'm trying to make ends meet, yet I have to help 5 other people survive at the same time. That's because that was your role, to make sure your community was well taken care of. And again, it comes from this wealth that comes from within you, that you will always be provided for, because you are a vessel of the divine. So the love, the wealth, the abundance, the support of the divine is flowing through you into your community. And the more you allow that energy to move, the more you will be supported as well. What you give to your community is what you will receive from the divine, and it will just be an ongoing cycle. All right, beautiful soul. Now let's ask the question, what overall lesson did you learn in your past life that will improve the direction of your present life? We have the Empress. In a past life, you knew how fertile you were. You knew that you were a creative being, that you were tapped into your feminine receptivity. And that reminds me of the High Priestess. That reminds me of what I just said about when you know that you are the nurturer for others, when you know, number one, that you are nurtured by the divine, it becomes a cycle of abundance where you are the vessel of the love of the divine that continues to outpour, like on the Ace of Cups. The energy flows out, it comes back in, it flows out, continually recycles the energy. So you learned that in a past life, that you were the caretaker, you were the nurturer, and therefore you were nurtured and loved by the divine. So I feel that if you lean into that in this present lifetime, you will find yourself ever more supported. Let me get another card. What lesson did you learn in your previous life that will assist your present life? We have the Nine of Wands, and this is about perseverance. This is about knowing that even when it gets hard, you can summon the stamina to keep going and reach your destination. Okay? So yeah, when times get hard, you know that victory is right around the corner. So never give up. Ask for help. Ask for that extra push, that extra wind at your back. Because in a past life, you knew that the divine was always supporting you. Let's get another card. What lesson did you learn in a past life that is informing the positive direction in this life? We have the King of Cups, beautiful energy. This is being compassionate, being emotionally intelligent and stable, not allowing the chaos, the drama, the trauma of life to rock your boat. You are so anchored. In a past life, you were the rock, you were the anchor, you were the one that everyone turned to. You were the one when things got hard and challenging and tumultuous that kept everyone going, grounded, inspired, hopeful. And like I said, that's a lesson you learned in a past life. So that's what's informing your current reality now. So remember when times get hard that the divine is always with you, always inspiring you, always pushing you ever forward. And it's that ability to lean into that trust more and more and more that will give you the security within, that will give you the stamina to keep going and to nurture those around you who are looking to you for your guidance, your inspiration, and your support, because you are a vessel of the divine. All right, beautiful soul, we're going to get one final card. Archangel Metatron is the angel that oversees past lives and also your ascension vehicle, your Merkaba field, which allows you to integrate all experiences, past, present, and future, and ascend into the highest possible version of your soul's desire. So let's get a final card of inspiration from Archangel Metatron. What does Metatron want you to know right now? Now we have Archangel Uriel. It says, a great spiritual transformation is currently occurring both in your life and in our world. This is the union of heaven and earth, spirit and matter, heart and mind unite in harmonious balance. So this definitely confirms what I was just saying, that number one, there's a spiritual transformation going on within you. If you've resonated with this reading, the purpose that called you here is so that you can lean into the spiritual transformation occurring within you, because heaven and earth are uniting within you. I've told you consistently throughout this reading that you are a vessel of the divine, and in a past life, you were intimately connected with that role, and you were a leader, you were a community builder. And so in this lifetime, you have the capacity to lead by the example of your light. So don't shun that. Don't turn away from it for fear of shame, guilt, or disappointing anyone. Follow your beautiful, loving heart. All right, my beautiful soul, I do hope this message served you, that it gave you a sense of peace and clarity regarding your past life and current influences. If you resonate and you want to claim this message for yourself, comment a prayer hand emoji down below and like this video now. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, as we release new readings every week you don't want to miss. And in the event you would like a deeper personal reading from me, there is a link available in the description box below to book that at any time. Until the next time I get to read for you, I'm sending you so much peace and love. Welcome in Group 3. You were drawn to the Golden Healer's Quartz Crystal and the cards Persecution and Inquisition and Release Suppressed Emotions. Freedom begins where expression flows. Now, these cards indicate that in a previous lifetime, you could have been persecuted and or killed because of who you were, simply because you had psychic abilities, healing capacities, you could see into the future, you could help people just by being yourself. And most likely you were accused of witchcraft or something along those lines. So as well as this card, release suppressed emotions, it's saying that in this lifetime, you probably feel shut down, repressed, afraid to express yourself without fear of being judged or persecuted. You may even have the desire in this lifetime to learn more about your psychic or healing abilities. You might know that they're in there, but be afraid to call them forth because you were persecuted in a previous lifetime because of that ability. So if that resonates with you, then let's learn more about this experience in your past life and how it may be affecting you currently. So let's see, how did this experience, affect your outlook on life today? So the first card that's coming up is the Judgment card, which is incredible because number one, you felt judged. You were persecuted just for being yourself, just for being naturally spiritual, which we all are. But in this time in history, being naturally spiritual was illegal because we needed in that time to be subject to the laws of society, to listen to the church and allow them to dominate and control us. So those who were just in tune with the divine, in tune with nature, who could heal and create miracles just by simply being, which is what we all can and should do, we were shut down, we were persecuted and killed because of that. So judgment was exacted upon you in a previous lifetime, which makes it difficult to make the best and highest and aligned choices. Your soul is calling you to use your gifts, but a part of you is afraid to be seen because you were persecuted in your previous lifetime just for being yourself. And so, yes, your previous lifetime affected your ability to make the best choices for yourself now because you were killed for doing that previously. Let's get another card. How did this past life experience affect your outlook on life today? Wow, we have the Strength card and the Knight of Wands. So yes, the Strength card is about overcoming fear. It's about overcoming persecution, knowing that that beast that's trying to consume you just wants to be loved by you. And we have the Knight of Wands, which is about being adventurous and courageous and pursuing your passions. So this is what you're being called to do, is overcome that fear of death, that fear of persecution, knowing that this is a different lifetime, that now it's more acceptable. In fact, it's being called forth from the people of today through this judgment energy. We are all being called forth to tap more into our psychic abilities, our healing abilities, to be able to share our wisdom that just comes up from within. And so, yes, you are being called forth into this lifetime to see that as an adventure, to pursue your passions without fear of judgment or persecution, which I know I definitely had to overcome that personally. And just know that in this lifetime, you're not going to be killed the way you would have been previously for being a psychic or for having healing abilities. It's actually going to be celebrated and it's going to be exciting. So allow yourself to overcome that fear and know that even if, family, friends judge you, general public, if you feel like a black sheep or outcast, that's okay, that's fine. But don't allow that to stop you, because no matter what you do, even if you're the best, somebody's going to judge you. So don't be afraid and don't be resigned to just live your life in the background as a supporting role because you don't want anybody to judge your opinions. Okay, it's time to call yourself forward. Just like this card says, let the feelings you buried rise without shame. It's time to get rid of shame. And this is saying that freedom begins where expression flows. So if you allow yourself to express yourself, and I am being drawn to throat chakra healing exercises, especially with all this blue energy, it's time to release the emotions that have been buried and allow yourself to cry, to scream, whatever you need to do to open up your ability to pour out who you are and what you feel into the world. That is going to be true freedom, to express yourself without fear of judgment. And that comes from trusting yourself, trusting your voice, trusting your gift from within, knowing that it doesn't matter. At this point, you're not going to be killed for it, so it doesn't really matter what anybody says, thinks. So we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is about reaping a financial opportunity. So it's possible that you could use your healing or psychic or your natural spiritual abilities to plant a seed of material well-being in this lifetime. So for instance, what I'm doing today, I never in a million years expected that I would be offering my psychic gifts as a healer, as a tarot reader, as a counselor, as a teacher. Never in a million years thought I would be doing this as for my financial well-being. So if that's something that you feel drawn and called to do, in this lifetime, you could be financially rewarded. You could be celebrated and respected for your healing and psychic capacities. So now we're going to take a look at the question, how did this past life experience affect your love life today in your romantic relationships? How did this experience of persecution in a past life, being suppressed, affect your love life today? We have the Nine of Swords, which is about being anxious, frustrated, seeing the worst case scenarios instead of being hopeful. This is having no hope left. So very interesting. There is this energy of perhaps that love is not available for you. And I'm wondering if it's because you have suppressed your inner desires. You have suppressed out of fear of judgment your true self. And when you suppress your true self, you can never meet anyone who truly sees you or truly validates you. So perhaps in your romantic relationships, you never feel truly seen, or you don't feel validated. You don't feel like anyone ever really understands you, perhaps because there's this aspect of yourself that is still buried for fear of bringing it forth because you don't want to be judged. So yes, if you don't want to be judged by anybody, it's very difficult to be vulnerable, and therefore it's difficult to be truly intimate with someone as well. So that fear of being seen or judged or expressing your true self could outpicture in your romantic relationships, making it difficult to find a perfect match. Let's get another card. How did this previous experience of judgment and persecution affect your romantic life today? We have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about needing to transition from the pain of the past to a more aligned, hopeful, refreshing experience. So yes, you are being called in this lifetime to leave behind that persecution, knowing that unless you express yourself fully and completely, overcoming that fear and being bold and courageous to be yourself, unless you do that, you will always live a half life, romantically and in any capacity. Okay, so this lifetime is calling you to overcome that suppression of who you truly are, so that you can experience expansion and true fulfillment in your love life. Let me get another card. We have the Hangman, And the Hangman is about seeing your situation from another point of view. And what's interesting that in this version of the artwork, you see almost like this person is being crucified and there are people judging them, right? Literally being killed while people antagonize you. And so back to the main message of this card is that rather than seeing yourself as judged or persecuted, you need to flip your idea around in this lifetime. Because although that fear of being seen, because you might be killed for your ideas or simply by being yourself, that fear lives within your cells, but you have to rise above it. Like it says here, cry, scream, whatever you need to free that suppressed energy. Because in this lifetime, that same experience is not going to happen to you, but it is preventing you from elevating to your soul's journey in this lifetime. So again, this is about how your previous lifetime of persecution and judgment is affecting your love life and your relationships romantically. It's time to allow yourself to be seen, to be heard, to express yourself without fear of recrimination, because otherwise you won't be able to open up fully. If you can't be yourself, you will never be loved for who you are. That's how important this is, to fully come home to yourself. Because what happened to you in a lifetime before this one is not going to happen in this one, but it is preventing you from fully opening your heart and being yourself and being loved for your authenticity. There is someone out there for you. If you're not in a relationship now, if it doesn't ever feel like you're ever truly respected or validated or loved, it's because there's a piece of yourself that's still locked in and you're afraid to bring it out. But once you bring it out, there's going to be someone who matches that energy completely. I have that feeling. All right, beautiful soul. So now let's dive deeper into this and see how this affected your ability to give love. How being persecuted and judged affected your ability to give love. We have the Three of Cups. Let me get a clarifying card. How did this experience of persecution affect your ability to love freely? Clarify the Three of Cups. The King of Pentacles. Let me get another card. Clarify the Two of Wands. I feel like you were separated from your family. I almost get the sense that it could have been your husband or your spouse or someone in your family who sold you out. And that could be why relationships feel so scary to you. They don't feel safe because I feel like someone close to you sold you out in a previous lifetime. Let me clarify with one more card. How did this experience in a past life affect your ability to love freely? We also have the Two of Swords. Yes. So this makes it seem to me like you don't know who to trust. You don't know who's real, who really has your back or your best interest in mind. So it's almost like you're always wayward when it comes to love. You don't trust your ability to love someone because the person you loved before is the one who sent you to your demise, basically. So that's some very heavy energy. So that's why the only way in this lifetime you will experience true emotional fulfillment in love, where you feel truly settled, fully seen and validated, is if you come to grips with this fear of expression. Knowing that what happened before is not going to happen now. But if you're not fully yourself because you're afraid that someone's going to sell you out or kill you or anything like that, then you're not going to know who's right for you. That person that I'm suggesting that will come into your life when you express yourself authentically, with this Two of Swords, you won't know who they are unless you lean into that. It's like they could be right there in your face, but you wouldn't be able to see them. All right, beautiful soul. Now we're going to take a look at how this experience in your past life may affect your professional choices in this lifetime. We have the Ten of Wands. So this makes me feel that your professional choices in this lifetime are burdensome. That more than likely you do jobs that are not aligned with your soul because you're not leaning into your healing gifts or your psychic gifts or your natural abilities, because in a previous lifetime, as explained here, you were killed or persecuted. Even your own family or loved one sold you out because of simply who you were. And it was, in a sense, aligned with your profession because it was your gift, it was your offering. So in this lifetime, you don't have the courage, or you don't feel safe, rather, to express yourself professionally in ways that are truly aligned with your soul's calling. More than likely, you feel that something that you truly would want to do is not practical. And so it's like you only should do jobs that pay the bills but don't satisfy your heart. How did this experience in your past life affect your professional choices in this lifetime? We have the Three of Pentacles. That's about building together with others. Let me get a clarifying card. We have the World. Yes. So the World is about higher level consciousness, graduating to a new experience, a new higher level and vantage point. Let me get one more card to clarify. How did your past life experience, judgment and persecution, affect your current professional choices? We have the Devil as well. I do feel that you have been tempted to stay small when you have the capacity to build higher level consciousness and systems. Professional choices for you should feel expansive, should feel as if you're working towards a common goal that serves a purpose. But again, rather than that, because you may have felt trapped or not free to fully express yourself, that you just have to keep your head down and do a job that may not be anything that means anything to you, that may not be purposeful or worthwhile. Yes, there is some aspect of your professional life and romantic life that has been suppressed, I do feel here. So let's take a deeper look at your finances. Okay, how did this experience in your past life affect your finances today? We have the Justice card. The Justice card is about karma. Let me clarify this. What financial experiences in your past affect your present? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Yes. Okay. So I feel here that there's a karmic reward for you financially in this lifetime if you allow yourself to express yourself freely. The life that I'm living right now is something I designed. where I have freedom of time. I have the ability to uplift others with my intuition. I have the ability to live an expansive and more free life. I have the ability to be an example, to take care of my family with my gifts. And so you have that as well. You have a karmic reward that is readily available to you, but it is preconditioned upon you leaving the pain of this past lifetime behind you and calling forth your spiritual gifts. Calling forth those gifts will lead to security, stability, abundance, well-being, and being able to have overflow to support your loved ones as well. So the success in love and life and money in every area of your life is predetermined by you releasing these suppressed gifts and emotions and this path of your soul that needs to be called forth in this lifetime. If it's not done in this lifetime, you will repeat this energy. So with this justice card, it's better to come to terms with that karma now so that you don't have to repeat it in your next lifetime. Let me get another card. How does your previous lifetime financially affect your financial picture in this lifetime? We have the Six of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So this does confirm with the Six of Cups that there is something of the past that needs to be rectified so that you can plant the seed and move towards a more abundant future and a more abundant reality in this lifetime. Okay? All right, beautiful soul. Now let's ask the question, what lesson did you learn in your previous life which will allow you to move forward purposely, peacefully in this lifetime? We have the Six of Wands. Wow, this is incredible. The Six of Wands is about being seen, recognized, validated, and respected for your wisdom, for your accomplishments, for your leadership. So I love this because this is the opposite of all the other energy in this reading so far. And this is what I've been suggesting is necessary for you to fully live a life of love, abundance now. Knowing that your ideas, your gifts, your beliefs, they are so worthy, they are so important. And as you outpour them without fear of judgment or persecution, those that need your gifts will recognize them and validate you for them. And love, your lover, your partner will validate and respect you for who you are if you express the truth of your being, which up until this point you may have been afraid to do. And so in a past life you knew, like for instance, a witch going up to the stake to be burned, being burned with confidence and pride, recognizing and validating your love, your gift, your freedom. Yes, that is true freedom. Being willing to die for who you are. And so in this lifetime, you have to summon that same courage, that same confidence that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about me. I know who I am. My gifts are from the divine. And therefore, even if someone doesn't understand me, maybe someone doesn't like my opinion, they shun me in this lifetime, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I recognize myself, and therefore those that recognize me will be called into my reality. So that's something to call forth now. Recognizing, validating yourself, knowing your gifts are so perfect, so worthy to be seen, to be received, and in that knowingness, you will be seen and received. Let me get another card. What lesson in your past life affects your current reality? We have the Seven of Pentacles. Let me clarify this. What overall lesson from your past life will help your current life? We have the Ace of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. Okay, so life is not over for you is basically what this is suggesting. No matter what age or stage of life, you have a new season coming in for you that is more authentic, because you have the option in this lifetime to choose two paths: the path of frustration, of victim, of seeing life as half empty, the glass half empty versus half full. Life is opening you up to a deeper level of experience, but you have to be willing to stretch out your hand and grab the cup. So that's your choice in this lifetime. You can choose to keep yourself small and suppressed. You can choose not to fully express your light and your gifts. If you choose that, it will be a very frustrating, painful, and just unfulfilling path. However, you have the option to choose what's growing, what wants to take root and bring harvest and fulfillment in your life. You have to choose from the love of yourself. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, because the same wall that you build to protect your heart also keeps love out. It keeps your truth out. It keeps the fulfillment of expressing your light, your love, your gifts, your voice. All of that prevents you from experiencing true emotional fulfillment. So, yes, the lesson from your lifetime previously is to choose what is yours. Don't ever be afraid of being judged, because you will always be judged. But as long as you know who you are, you honor yourself, you have the freedom and the courage and the boldness to express your light, the inherentness of who you are, it doesn't matter what certain people say, because you will see yourself, and those who truly need to see you will validate you and respect you as well. Okay? So basically, there's so much more. You have another season of life to move into. A season of more love, more abundance, more well-being, as you allow yourself to fully express and bring forward your innate healing gifts. All right, beautiful soul, we're going to call upon Archangel Metatron to bring forth one final message of encouragement, as Archangel Metatron is the angel that oversees past lives and the ascension and integration of everything past, present, and future, so you can live your most radiantly aligned life. What does Archangel Metatron want you to know right now? Call forth all of who you are, boldly and courageously. It says positive thinking. Positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude, along with positive beliefs and thoughts, are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry, think, love. So, beautiful soul, this is confirmation. Like I said, whatever fear of persecution is ingrained in your cells just needs to be overcome. Knowing that you need to stay focused on what is the best case scenario. That is the only way you're going to experience a full, abundant life. Don't worry, beautiful soul. If it's calling you to express it, I can almost guarantee you that the love you will feel on the other side of that, the abundance that you will feel on the other side of that, the well-being you will experience on the other side of that is already a reality, because your future self is living it now and is calling you forth to crack open that shell, crack open that chrysalis, and be reborn into the beautiful butterfly that you truly are. And with that being said, beautiful soul, I do hope you resonate with this reading, that it served you and gave you some peace and clarity and momentum for moving forward in this lifetime. If you do resonate and you want to claim, comment a butterfly emoji down below and like this video now. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe as we release new readings every week you don't want to miss. And in the event you would like a deeper personal reading for yourself, there's a link available in the description box below to book that at any time. And until the next time I get to read for you, I'm sending you so much peace and love.